Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Luana and I have been working as a professional psychic medium and energy healer since 2019, and today I thought I would sit down and pull a channeled message for all of you. So we're going to start with my favorite Whispers of Love Oracle deck. This deck is really amazing for pulling on twin flame connections, heart chakra, love, relationship stuff. So I'm going to take a moment to connect and we will see what Spirit wants to bring through. It's interesting because immediately as I pull a card, Spirit is giving me the word decision. Perhaps there is a decision that you will be making or that you've just made, or there's some kind of, Spirit is showing me like a fork in the road, almost like a crossroads, but it's not necessarily a crossroads in the sense where you're sacrificing one path for the other. I almost feel like in this crossroads, you already know what the right path is, but it's a matter of making that decision for yourself. And wow, so the card that we pulled is Romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So it's interesting because in the last about 3 readings that I posted on this channel, a theme that has been coming through in those readings and also in my community is that there are so many twin flames who have just harmonized a union with their twin flame, or they've just reconnected with their twin flame. Like, this has been happening for so many people in my community. I've been hearing about it, and I think it's very fitting that this card has come out because I really am feeling from this card that this has to do with like a romantic connection with someone else, some kind of physical external romance with your twin flame, someone in your life. So the card says lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. It says quality time is needed. Whether you are in or between relationships, do something special that adds romance to your life. If you are single, it's important to do something for you. What do you consider romantic? Is it an intimate meal or flowers given or received? If you're in a relationship, do something special for your person, for your special person. If you are single, buy flowers for yourself, take a candlelit bath, or pamper yourself with your favorite cream or lotion. As you treat yourself, imagine how happy you feel as if you are not just doing this for yourself, but for a special someone in your life. A picturesque mermaid dances with her partner. They only have eyes for each other. It's important to prioritize yourself in your relationship. Try to make romance a consistent practice. It may not sound romantic to schedule dates with someone once or twice a month, but it will benefit you in more ways than you realize. So it's interesting. I'm hearing like clairaudiently, I'm hearing like touch deprived or like affection starved. And so I feel like you might be someone who's just called in a union or just manifested something, or if that hasn't happened yet, like this is an energy that is manifesting. And there's just such a, and I feel like it'll be 50-50. So depending on your specific situation, this could literally be about pouring more energy into your current union, or if your union is in the process of manifesting, it's about opening up your sacral chakra, your center of emotions, of pleasure, of fun, of play, your center of creative energy. This is going to be all about reconnecting with your intimate emotions. This is a very like emotional energy, and what Spirit is showing me is a connection between your sacral chakra and your heart chakra. And so it's literally like the most emotional chakras that you have, like the heart and the sacral hold all of your emotion, all of the love, all of the feelings. And so it's about allowing yourself, like they're just drawing me so strongly to the face of the mermaid, and she looks like she's having, can you even see her face? She looks like she's having so much fun. She looks so happy and just like full of joy. And I'm just feeling this message of it's time for you to receive the benefits or reap the rewards of what you've manifested and what you've cultivated. I feel that you're someone who's very giving, but romance or romantic relationships or intimate relationships might actually feel very new and very vulnerable to you right now. Even if you're someone who's been in relationships in the past, the thing with the twin flame connection is when it manifests, it's unlike any other relationship that you've ever been in the sense where it's so, it demands, or rather causes you to just be more authentic, more vulnerable, more yourself. It's like connecting with someone else and you're seeing each other eye to eye on a soul level. Like, you can't really hide anything. It's very exposing in a positive way. But, you know, when we've been through past negative experiences, or, you know, we were, you know, deprived of affection or love in the past, where we really struggled in relationships, like that can feel very exposing. And there's just this message from spirit that it's all about. Also, I'm hearing the word photograph for some reason. So maybe that's a message to like take a lot of photos at this point in your life. Maybe you're going to look back at this point in your life with this connection and like really cherish this beginning or this new beginning or this reconnection. There's just some kind of like sentimental, this could also refer to past photos that you're looking at and reminiscing nostalgically. Oh, you know what? With the word photograph, it's also kind of a reference to past life memories that you have with this person if they're your twin flame. When we have a twin flame, we have so many past life experiences with them. Like, you would be surprised if you connected to your own Akashic records and you actually looked at all of your past lives. The amount of memories, the amount of energy that is stored in the past is really surprising. And I think you'd be surprised, but it's basically this message of like, this is a connection that holds so much energy and so much love. But there's just this recurring message from spirit to give and to receive love. Like, here's a message for someone. Don't like hold back on the love that you have to give. If you feel the urge to give love, it's because you were meant to give it in that moment. So like, if you're with someone and you're thinking to yourself, like, you know, I don't want to come across as too clingy or like too needy or too emotional or too in love, spirit is saying it's actually that the other person who's with you at that point in time is feeling the same way. And so if you let yourself express that emotionally, if you let yourself express that love, it's gonna open up this like beautiful communication. Like, it's almost like there's a little bit of like fear of rejection or fear of coming across as like too much, too emotional, but there's like a message from spirit of like, throw caution to the wind. And I don't always say that in every reading. It just feels like this is an energy that is so important right now. Like, there's just this emphasis on, because sometimes we try and preserve ourselves, right? Like, sometimes we try and preserve our emotions. We try and preserve our love. We try to not throw it away or waste it or get disappointed. But spirit is saying like, right now, there needs to be this opening up of that. And that includes on your end. So just like open up more, let yourself open up to love more. So yeah, that's kind of the message there for someone specific. We're gonna move on to the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck because I feel like there's an abundance message coming through here. It's interesting because the very first reading that I posted like a week ago or several days ago, it was all about abundance. It was all about like, you are shifting from scarcity to complete abundance. And you know, it's interesting because on this channel, like I mainly talk about like soul connection, relationships, twin flames, etc., right? Like, that's just my area of expertise and what I'm comfortable talking about. But I always use this deck personally, obviously, because I have my own business, my own spiritual business, and this is a very like spiritual, abundant deck. Like, it's all about receiving and manifesting abundance at a different level. But I'm feeling that like, for those of you especially who are on the twin flame journey, because so many people on the twin flame journey always are attracted to my content, it also has a lot to do with your abundance, with your career, with your purpose, with like receiving more wealth, receiving more prosperity. It's interesting. Okay, so the card that I just pulled is Radiant Abundance. And it's a woman, and she is surrounded by two tigers on both sides. And it's interesting because the way that she's like posed, it almost looks like she's pregnant and she's like holding her pregnant belly. And I don't think she is pregnant in this one, but it's an interesting thing. And I'm bringing that up because in the second reading that I did and in my very last reading, we were talking about this energetic theme of pregnancy, not literal pregnancy. That's definitely not going to apply to everyone. It might apply to some people, but it's almost this idea of like, you are pregnant with a new version of yourself. You are creating and birthing like a new version of yourself. So I just find this like repeating imagery very interesting. Very interesting. So we're gonna look up the card definition. Okay, so it's very interesting. As I'm like looking up the card definition, I'm hearing the word advanced. So I feel like you who are watching this, who are tuned in here, you're a very advanced soul. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't matter like what your current life looks like or what it looked like. It doesn't matter if you don't have like astronomical levels of success yet, you haven't manifested your dreams yet. This is more so a feeling of like, you have a lot of past lives, a lot of experience in your soul, and you carry this innate wisdom. And what one of my guides are saying is wisdom and experience is really the currency of the soul, right? Because you can amass a large amount of wealth in one lifetime. When you pass and when you reincarnate into the next lifetime, you don't bring with you all of the material stuff that you've gathered, but you bring with you the wisdom and the experience, and that is your currency. And that is also something that can be easily alchemized and transmuted into physical wealth and prosperity. You can always, so for example, like, okay, you know what, they're giving me this example of, let's say like you take a super wealthy business person and you drop them off in another part of the planet, and they have this goal to rebuild a business from scratch. That person, because they have built a previous business, they have already succeeded, they have the skills. If they had to build something up from the ground up again, they would be able to, because they have the wisdom and because they have the experience. And so it's interesting with this card, I haven't even read the definition yet, but one of the messages that is just intuitively coming through for you is that you don't need to worry about a thing that hasn't manifested yet, that you are manifesting, but it's about you knowing that because you are an old soul, because you have this wisdom, because you have learned these internal lessons in other lifetimes, and you have all these skills and all this knowledge and all this wisdom and all this energy and all this consciousness, like you can very easily translate that to whatever you want to create in this life. And so if you have felt at times like you have wanted to start something and then you haven't been able to start it, or you felt like even your twin flame connection is taking a while to manifest or to heal, and you're just only feeling and experiencing the breakthroughs now, it's not because you didn't have the worthiness then, or the skill set then, or the deservingness then, but it was about alignment, right? Like the soul takes time to get in alignment, to get in tune with the higher vision, so that when you do create something in the physical world, it's not going to end up being something that like holds you back, right? So this is definitely something I can relate to, even though I'm quite young, but I think this can also definitely relate to you if you see yourself as older and you might be saying to yourself, oh, like I should have all of these things figured out by now. Why don't I have all of these things figured out by now? And there's almost this like message of be patient with yourself. When you've taken on a spiritual path, things can take longer to manifest in the physical world because you're going through this process of alignment, and it's actually better that way. So let's say, for example, you weren't in alignment 5 years ago and you started a career or a relationship or business, and you were out of alignment then, like you weren't spiritually awakened, you hadn't done the healing. Everything that you build would be based on that old energy. And then fast forward 5 years, it could almost feel for you like that structure that you built, that relationship that you made back then, or that business that you made back then, their career, could feel restrictive to you. And so it's not that you've missed out, but it's that you were setting a very important foundation. And I just feel like that's a very important message for someone. I mean, that was a whole message that came through. Let's read the definition for this card. So this says, radiant abundance, become what you desire. The biggest illusion that separates us from the wealth we desire is the belief that we are separate from it. Abundance is always available to you and can appear in more ways than you can anticipate. But the more you focus on not having it, the more you act like you don't have it, which leads to creating more lack in your life. The greatest secret to creating wild abundance in your life is this: you must become the living embodiment of the abundance that you seek. This card indicates that it's time to lean more into being the person who has abundance before the abundance has materialized in your life. How will you feel when you receive the money you desire? Can you feel that way now? How will you move through the world when you have all the abundance you can imagine? Can you navigate the world that way now, even just in small ways? What I'm hearing when I read that is spirit showing me this image of you putting certain dreams on the back burner. It's interesting because I'm also hearing like children, family. So it could be that you had children in the past. And this doesn't apply to literal children. This could be like things in your life that at that point in time in the past were more important for you to nurture or put your energy towards. But now it's like we're taking like whatever that was that we were pouring our energy into, whether it was children, another kind of creation, something you were building, we're taking our energy back a little bit from that, or actually a lot more, because whatever that is feels a little bit more finished, a little more final, a little more independent. And now we're going over here and we're like putting that same energy into our dreams that might have been on the back burner. Become the essence of abundance. Allow it to flood into every cell of your being and radiate out from you. In doing so, you make it easier for abundance to find its way to you faster than before. This is such a message of embodiment. So here's a little healing frequency that's coming through, is that you might have been told in the past that for you to have a certain level of abundance, to achieve something, to create something, people might have told you that you had to be a different person, or to change, or to sacrifice. And there's just this feeling of, here's the message. It's like, you can actually have everything that you want. You can create it without sacrificing anything, without burning yourself out, without sacrificing what's important to you. There's a way. So the mind oftentimes can't always see how to get what we want without, like, our mind goes through mental gymnastics, right? Like, the mind cannot see what the intuition can see. It can't see the pathway. But there's this message coming through that there actually is a pathway for you to get what you want without it sacrificing a bunch of other areas of your life. That's coming through really clearly. So for each of you listening, that is going to apply differently in the specifics. However, the sentiment is there, right? And I even encourage you, like, write in the comments how this applies to you, because I'm always so curious to hear how it applies to everyone. But like, that is a strong message, and this is coming through very strongly. So if this, like, you know, this message is for you if you have been wanting something to create or manifest something or multiple things, but you keep thinking to yourself, oh, it's going to require all this sacrifice or all this hard work, or it's going to require me to sacrifice my health or my time or my relationships. And Spirit is saying, no, it's actually not. Like, it's absolutely not. So really take that to heart. Allow yourself to be open to the unseen pathway. There's a way that this can happen that your mind is incapable of seeing, because your mind only knows what has happened. It literally cannot see what could happen, because your mind is like just programmed off of the data that you have, right? So one last message that wants to come through with that is that Spirit, there's a guide that's coming through that's talking about how for some of you, you're really gonna have to look at like patterns of self-imposed limitation. Like, for some of you, this is a big wake-up message. Not to like be harsh on you, but like Spirit, okay, so the way that I know, Spirit always comes through with very strong and blunt messages when someone has been trying and trying and trying and struggling, and they're like at the point where they're like, please, Spirit, send me a clear message. I'm so sick of being burnt out or tired or stressed. That's when a message like this is going to come out. It's a very strong message of like, it's time for you to get out of your own way, because you've been putting mental self-imposed limitations on whatever it is this is. It's time for you to get out of the way, open up to what can be done for you, and really receive that. They're also mentioning clear quartz for some of you. Clear quartz is all about clarity. So if you have clear quartz, work with it, have it around your workspace. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is, yeah, the guides are happy with that message. So that was definitely for someone. I tried to record a reading, you guys, like a few days ago, and I really wanted to use this deck on the channel. I'm very excited about this. This is Inner Wise. It was designed by a German doctor. It is essentially an energy healing system. So this is the first video I think I've done where I've incorporated energy healing into it. Essentially how this works is everything in our reality and within ourselves and in our world is made up of vibrations, right? Everything has a vibrational frequency. So basically what this does is it will treat the frequencies that are out of alignment. For example, scarcity. When you're thinking a thought like, I'm not enough, I don't have enough, that is an example of a low vibration, a weak vibration, where you're going to manifest scarcity. When we use these little healing cards, all of these are imbued with different frequencies from nature, from sounds, from archangels, different archetypes. Like, there's so many different, like, just for example, like prairie dog would be like a frequency, and it's like all about strength and inspiration and silence and stillness. Raven, snake, like all of these different archetypes and frequencies that work to basically correct the frequencies that are out of alignment within ourselves. And that's also the amulet that I'm wearing. You basically transfer the frequencies to the amulet and wear it, and that helps you heal blockages. And that's really what I've been helping myself treat my blockages with YouTube and content creation with this deck. So it's not really a deck, it's like a card. Anyway, so I really wanted to bring this onto this channel because I want to start doing energy treatment sessions. So the way this is going to work is I'm basically going to do a collective energy healing, quantum healing. If you're watching my channel, you're probably familiar with like people who post Reiki videos where they're sending Reiki through space and time to you if you give your consent. And this is also something I do in my Violet Flame Healing Circle. If you want to join, the link will be in the description. But basically every single week I send energy healing to the whole group. And because we're not limited by time or distance or space, you can send energy healing simply through intention, and that energy will reach that person. Those of you who have experienced twin flame telepathy know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like you can be in a different city or country from your twin flame, you can still feel them as if they're right there, right? So that's how energy healing works. So if you would like to be open to receive this energy healing, all that you need to do is simply say in your mind's eye, you can say it out loud, you can even type it in the comments, like, I am open to receive this energy healing, and I give my consent. So give you a moment to do that if you want to receive the energy healing. And we're gonna get started. So guys, I'm obsessed with energy healing. I love doing energy healing. I've trained under so many different modalities, and it's like it brings so much joy to my life. Anyway, so the first card we're gonna pull is 286. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to mention is if you want this energy healing to continue to work with you even after the video is over, just set that intention now and the energy will stay with you and to continue working with you. So 286 is the first treatment card. We're gonna look up what that message is. And these tend to be a little bit more like of a treatment than like too many messages, so I'll be just pulling card after pulling cards. 286, chrysoprase. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Trusting life. The world can impress us anew. Realizing how we can support our growth, presence of mind, loyalty, honesty. Yeah, guys, in the beginning of this reading, it was all about the heart chakra, right? When I'm reading this card and this healing frequency is like the heart flooding with love and trust and connection. So that's beautiful. The next healing frequency we have is 188. Who am I? As a child of all that is, I come from being. I recognize life as an expression of the divine and I return to eternal being. Reconnecting with your spiritual nature, oneness. This is also kind of like a trusting energy. Next healing frequency we have is 109. 109. I let joy, activity, passion, and creativity into my life. This is Archangel. So you can even call on Archangel Uriel if you want more of that support. But guys, again, oh my God, Uriel, I let joy, activity, passion, and creativity. Uriel rules governs the sacral chakra. That's the exact chakra I was talking about in the beginning. So when I'm like doing one of these healing sessions for a client in person or like on myself, it is crazy because the cards that I pull, the frequencies will be like exactly what I talked about. So anyways, I'm geeking out about that a bit. 133 is the next healing frequency, and that is ferrum phosphorusum, iron phosphate 3. I recognize that life is neither a struggle nor an endlessly repeating cycle. This enables me to break out of patterns and create new visions. Yeah, you are starting a completely new cycle in your life. And this is about your mind letting go of this attachment to like the same struggle, the same cycle, and you're having a new beginning completely. The next healing frequency we have is 195, and this one says sound. In the beginning was the word, and the word is sound. It is vibration, the vibration of creation. I am vibrating sound in body, mind, and soul. Your word is so powerful. The energy you express is so powerful. You literally have the ability to recreate your life anew. You are never stuck in any one thing. You're never stuck in anything that you created in the past. Everything is sound, everything is energy. You can create the new beginning now. Okay, we're gonna do one more healing frequency because I'm feeling guided to kind of stop there. So usually like when I do these healings for myself, I will pull like 15 cards, but maybe for you guys, like you might need a lighter healing to begin with. So 233, card 233. Daisy, what is my path in life? How am I ready to engage with it? Like, I can't make this up. All of these messages are exactly what we've been talking about. They're so on point. I mean, what I just said, basically, like, you're in a completely new beginning. What is my true path? How am I ready to engage with it? What am I letting go of? Who am I becoming? It's like, this is powerful. This is like a rebirth. This is literally you having a rebirth. So just know that if you, yeah, these are all the frequencies. So if you have consented to receive this, trust that the frequencies are with you now, that they're working with you. If you're watching this video, we're in the same energetic vibration. So these frequencies will stay with you. The healing will stay with you. Feel free to come back to this portion of the video, or even just this video in general, if you feel like you want to have like another dose of the healing frequencies. Like, it can be really good to, the way that energy healing works is our aura and our vibration and our thoughts will entrain with the higher vibration, which is these healing frequencies, and our vibration will gradually adjust until we're in alignment with the healing frequency. So that's how it works. So, you know, if you found this really resonating and you really want to absorb this healing, save the video, come back to it when you feel like you need more of that healing energy. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this new method of healing, because guys, I'm obsessed with healing. I love this stuff. I could do this all day, and I might even, you know, make a little habit of doing this for every reading that I do, because I feel like in readings we really open up the wounds or the issues, and then we can pour the healing into that open crevice afterwards. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, let me know in the comments how this resonated, how this affected you, and of course, I will see you in future videos. Take care. I'm sending you so much love. All right, bye.